Welcome to Dugout Report, episode number 13. I am here with Frank the Tank, who is a diehard Mets fan, and I'm so happy to have the chance to speak to him about the Mets, and I'm sure he will love speaking about the Mets and everything that they are doing. So welcome, Frank.
Yep, happy to be here. They just had a good series in Atlanta. Must win series, I believe.
So what were your thoughts on the Atlanta series?
They needed it. They got stellar pitching. Even David Peterson pitched well, except for the friggin' umpires screwing him on the Dansby Swanson strike call. They won 2 out of 3. They outpitched the Braves. They got a couple of timely hits. And the lineup still isn't playing well. They missed Starling Marte. They missed Jeff McNeil. Hopefully McNeil will be back real soon. Hopefully Marte will also be back soon. Both of them are all-stars. Though I have a feeling you're going to probably see one or both of them opt out of the All-Star game. I mean, McNeil is not an injury. He's became a father for the first time the other day, and Marte's got a little bit of a groin issue.
After the All-Star break, the Mets play San Diego. What are your thoughts on that series?
Tough series. The Padres are a good team. If the season were to end today, the Padres would be a wild card team. They obviously are one of the stronger teams in the National League. I mean, the Mets' schedule is never easy. I mean, even the Cubs are going to give them problems this weekend. The Mets have never play well in Wrigley Field. And after the Padres, they got two games against the Yankees. So it's never easy. While the Braves play teams like the Washington Nationals, a team that seriously has no pride.
My next question is, what do you most like when watching Mets games at the Barstool Sportsbook place?
Well, I don't typically watch it at the Barstool Sportsbook. I usually watch the Barstool office.
Okay.
Most of the sport, there really isn't a Barstool Sportsbook inside New Jersey. They do have the Sportsbook app, but there's not really a live place like Detroit. Detroit has a nice sportsbook place at the Greektown Hotel, the Hollywood Greektown Hotel.
Nice. How do you like it?
Oh, it's nice. It's nice when the Mets win, but when they lose, it gets really aggravating.
So, what do you think about the trade deadline and the Mets potentially getting?
Well, the trade deadline is a little over 2 weeks away from now. The trade deadline, I believe, is August 2nd this year. So after the All-Star break, it's going to be interesting to see what teams are going to decide to call it a season. With the extra wild card team, there's going to be more teams that feel they're in the race. With the hot streak the Orioles have had, that might take Trey Mancini off the market. So you're going to be seeing players like Andrew Benintendi, Juan Soto. Well, Juan Soto probably won't be traded this year. The Nationals are going to try at least maybe another couple of months to try to sign him. Josh Bell, Nelson Cruz, these guys are going to be on the market. Mike Moustakas could be on the market from Cincinnati. Charlie Blackmon might be on the move from Colorado. You got to look at the teams that are like just the dregs of society. The A's don't really have anybody they could really trade. I mean, that's a carcass of a franchise. I mean, really, everything has been plucked off that team that could possibly be plucked off. The Angels, that's a team that just I don't understand how the Angels could be as bad as they are. They're 11-33 since May 24th, and when you look at, they have Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and they're 11-33. I mean, how does that happen?
Yeah. Do you see them possibly getting anyone from the Dodgers?
Well, the Dodgers won't be trading anyone.
I think Arizona needs help as well.
Well, Arizona will probably be sellers. I wouldn't be surprised to see Madison Bumgarner on a move, or a couple of players. Mark Melanson, that's another guy that could be watching a move. I mean, there may not be many sellers out there.
What are your thoughts on the whole division?
National League East. It's between the Mets and the Braves. The Phillies, they might be able to sneak in a wild card, but I don't think they'll ever get to the level of the Mets and Braves, especially with Bryce Harper probably out another month.
Yeah. I'm a diehard Phillies fan, and they said Harper will potentially be back by mid-August.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they could sneak into a wild card spot, but I don't think they could get to Mets or Braves. I mean, we're talking maybe getting that third wild card, depending what St. Louis does. St. Louis, Milwaukee, the Giants.
I think the Mets will win the series. I mean, the division.
Well, let's hope so.
I mean, it's going to be a battle between you guys and Atlanta, but I just think that you guys are going to get even harder after the break.
Well, I look at the Braves, and that is not a team to root for. There's not one likable player on that team.
So my next question is, what was the best Mets game you have attended?
One of my favorites is actually a Mets Phillies season opener that went 14 innings before a run was scored in 1998. And some guy named Alberto Castillo, who probably had maybe 10 hits his entire career, had a walk-off bases loaded single to win the game.
What was that game at Philly or at New York?
It was at Shea Stadium, and it was basically a pitcher's duel between Bobby Jones and Kurt Schilling.
Nice. That sounds like a full great experience.
Yeah.
So my next question is, towards the end of this month, what are your thoughts on the 2-game series against the Yankees?
It's going to be tough. I mean, right now the Yankees look like they've hit a little bit of a wall, but when they play in 2 weeks, will the Yankees get back on track? I mean, basically the Yankees had that 3-game streak going into yesterday's game. They were down 4-0 and were rather fortunate to win. The Cincinnati Dreadful Reds, that is a dreadful team, literally threw the game away with back-to-back wild pitches in the 10th inning. Yeah.
What do you think about the Houston Astros going up against the Yankees again?
I see the Astros is their potent lineup. They got strong pitching, and the Yankees are going to have a tough time beating them.
Will you be watching any of the MLB draft this Sunday?
I'll keep an eye on it. But Major League Baseball draft, when you got the NFL draft, those players are going to play right away. You got the NBA draft, those players are going to play right away. Get the NHL draft, you might have to wait a year or two for them. The baseball draft, you're going to see these guys in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So what is a typical day like for you when the Mets play?
Well, I try to get things done before the Met game is on, and then when the Met game comes on, I basically just throw everything out and focus on the Mets. Even if I'm traveling, I'm watching the game. Even if I'm on the road or doing something, I'm either watching on the MLB app watching on the over the phone, watching at home, wherever, anywhere I could watch the Mets.
So I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk to me. And I hope to have you back in the future.
All right, thanks. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, bye.